morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Just a quick reminder to make sure that you sign up for Seesaw because we're going to be using that website on Monday. All right, so I want to show you the materials that you need to take out. So make sure you go to your next page for your paper. And you want to make sure that you write number 1 at the top and number 2 and put a middle, the same thing that we've been doing. And then we're going to write Thursday 4/2/20. It's April 2nd. And then you're going to write your name at the top. So make sure it says 1 and 2. Then you're going to turn the page. You're going to draw a line in the middle and put 3 and 4. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you should write for number 1. You don't want to write the whole problem out, but I do want you to draw a box. And because this is a more or less problem, I want you to write more and put a line, and then write less and put a line. Then on the bottom of that, you can write answer and put another line so you can write your answer in a complete sentence. If you need extra time, you can just pause the video. Okay. I'm going to read number 1. Susie is 18 years old. She is 12 years older than her brother. How old is her brother? Label more and less. So Susie is 18 years old. She is 12 years older. So if she's older, on your paper, are you going to write Susie for more, or are you going to write Susie for less? Which one? So hopefully you wrote on your paper that Susie has more, okay? I'm going to write it on here. And if Susie has more, then we're going to write her brother would be less. So her brother has less. Now the question is saying, how old is her brother? And since we're focusing on her brother, we're going to circle that. And he has less. Now you're going to draw a box and you're going to write what number sentence will match this word of less. So if something's less, are you going to add or are you going to subtract? Give you a moment to write your number sentence. Okay, so hopefully you put 18 minus 12 equals question mark. You can take a moment to label your total and your parts. So your total goes before the minus sign, and these are your parts. And now you can do a strategy to figure out what your missing part is. Okay, so I'm going to put 12 in my brain. So I'm starting with my part, and since I start with my part, I have to make sure that I stop at my total, which is 18. So I'm going to count up. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so my missing part is the amount of circles that I made. So I'm going to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was my missing part. Now you can write a number sentence to match your work. So your work might not be the same as mine, and that's okay. So I did 12 plus 6 equals 18. This was my missing part, so I'm going to box that. And then I'm going to label that part in my total. Now you can take the time to answer this question. How old is her brother? Her brother is 6 years old. All right, so we're moving on to question number 2. This is what you should write on your piece of paper. You should just write 23 equals question mark minus 12. That's all you need to write on your paper. You don't have to write those directions. Okay. Solve for the missing value. So the first thing that we should do before we can solve is we need to label our total and our parts. So I'll give you a moment to do that. So your total, again, it goes before the minus sign. So I'm actually missing my total, and I have my parts. And when you don't have your total, you have to add your parts. So right now, you can solve this problem and figure out what your total is. Okay, I'm going to start with the big number first because we're adding. And I'm going to represent the 12 with 1 10 stick and then 2 ones. 1, 2. So if I add 10 more to 23, I'm going to get to 33. And now I'm going to add to my ones place, so 34. 35. Okay, now I can write a number sentence to match this work. 23 plus 12 equals 35, which was our missing total. And you can always do commutative property. You can always start with this number and switch it around, and you can add 23 to 12, and that would still get you the same answer. Okay, so now we're ready for our dance break. Okay, I hope you had fun in that dance break. Now we're going to move on to question number 3. You're going to go to the other side of your piece of paper. And if you have all of this printed out, that's totally fine. You can skip this part if you don't need to write it on a piece of paper. But if you weren't able to print it out, then you need to write these parts on this piece of paper. So for number 3, all you're going to write on the top is 358 plus 75. Then you're going to draw a picture of your HTO chart. So you put HTO, you draw a line under it, and then you put a line in between the H and the T, and then you put another line in between the T and the O. After you do that, you're going to write answer so that you can write what the value is when you finish. So this is just for number 3. If you need a little time, you can also look at my chart. Just make sure you're not writing all of the directions. Okay. Find the sum of 358 plus 75. Use the HTO chart to help you solve. All right, so we're going to label HTO at the top and then TO here because we don't have any hundreds. We're going to work with this number first. So I want you to draw your hundreds, your tens, and your ones just for this number right now. And just a reminder, you are not labeling your pictures. That will be the last step. All right, so I have 3 hundreds. I have 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, I like to do it in rows of 5 so that I know if I have 2 rows of 5, I have 10 ones. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're done with this number. We can cross that out. Now you're going to show your 7 tens and your 5 ones in your HTO chart. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So looking at both my tens and my ones, I can see that I can regroup actually both of them. So I want you to regroup it, and then I will show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I know I have 5 ones here and another 5 ones here, so I have 10 in this part. I'm going to circle this, and I'll make sure I have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to bring this over to my tens place. Now I'm going to see if I have 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I circle this, I cross it out, and I bring it over here to draw another 100. Now what we can do is we can label everything since we regrouped our tens and our ones. 100, 200, 300, 400. Now we're counting by tens. We're counting on from here. 410, 420, 430. And we only have 3 ones left, so we can say that this is 433. So our answer, 433, is how much we have. All right, we only have one more question left. I only want you to fill out this part, so the numbers. You're going to write 37, put a comma, 31, comma, 25, comma, and then 2 blank spots, and then you're going to write 7 at the end. If you need more time, you can look at my chart. I'm going to read the directions. Fill in the missing pattern. First thing, before we try to fill it out, we need to see if it's counting up or down. So I'm going to read this off. 37, 31, 25, and then all the way at the end we have 7. So it's definitely counting down. So you can either use a circle strategy or a number line strategy. You can get started on that. Okay, I'm going to put 37 in my brain, and then I'm going to do circles and stop when I get to that next number, which is 31. So 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. Okay, so it's a lot of circles. Let's see what our pattern is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're counting down by 6. So I'm going to put 25 in my brain and put 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to count down. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. So I know 19 is that next number. Then I'm going to put 19 in my brain and draw 6 circles. And I'm going to count down. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Now to make sure if I'm correct, I'm going to start and put 13 in my brain and see if I get to 7. So 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, so we knew we were doing that right. Awesome job, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. I'll see everyone tomorrow, and if you have any questions about setting up Seesaw, don't forget to text your teachers. Bye.